Hello, so this is part two, and we are doing a garden check-in. So first, we're just looking at our watermelon seedlings and our runner bean plants, and they seem to be looking good. And I believe these are marigolds that I planted. I also planted some lettuce seedlings in here, and I see one little one there, and some more should be emerging. This may be lettuce too, but we'll see. And there's one little one there. So everything is looking good there. This is our flower tester bed. And so I am happy with the growth. So all of these were directly sown except for the nasturtium. It was not, but that's the healthiest nasturtium plant that I've had. And I've grown nasturtium on the inside. This was transplanted out. I grew it in a similar fashion, but the other ones have not looked this good. So I'm so glad to see that it's looking good. And then we have 2 rows of sunflowers here, 2 rows of zinnias. We have cosmos, we have snapdragons, and then we have some yarrow. The snapdragons and yarrow were grown on the inside and transplanted out, but the sunflowers, zinnias, and cosmos were directly sown. Ranunculus, I think they ran their course because they prefer cool weather. So I think that's how they're supposed to look, but I'll just have to keep doing my research on those. These are my tomato seedlings that I'm assuming, and they are growing in my compost bin, and they are looking good. These are my sweet peas. I think they've ran their course too because they are not growing in their correct season, and so I don't expect much out of them. I grew some, and failure on my part with those, and they didn't do well, and I grew some more, but I don't think they'll do well because I think it's too hot for them. We have snapdragons here. These are our tomato seedlings. Oh, and we have bell peppers here too. Not snapdragons, tomato seedlings, and they are growing good. This is our Roma tomato variety. We have the mortgage lifter variety over here, and they are looking good. We have some different flowers. We have zinnias planted there, some cosmos. That's a basil plant. That little pop of orange is a marigold. And then we have alyssums here, and I believe this is a garlic, maybe. It looks to be like a little piece of garlic. Then over here, snapdragons. I'm hoping that these little ones, these little buds will turn into bloom. In the past, I've had several blooms here. So we'll see. Tomatillas, and I have several of those, as you can see. And there are 2 plants of those here. And then we have another pepper plant right there. In this bed, we have some more peppers. We have some pops of color with marigolds, peppers there. This zinnia. We have some tomato seedlings here. These are our sungold cherry tomatoes. And I believe this is a basil over here. Our strawberry tower, it's more so green than anything. I'm hoping the addition of the fertilizer that it favors will help. I love the greenery, but I'm wanting more strawberries. We do have a few, but I'm hoping by June we just have a few more. Blueberries are looking good. This plant has stood the test of time, and we have 2 little blueberries there. Our curly parsley, not parsley, kale. It is looking good. I think it's to the point where I need to harvest this, but it looks so good. We have a few pieces of parsley back there. I grew that from seed, so excited about that. And this may be parsley too. Yeah, I think it is. It doesn't smell like cilantro. This is my herb tower, and it's not as successful as I want it to be. I'm not sure if this is an herb or a weed. It may be dill, but I'm not sure. And then we have our calendula, and then my lavender that I was able to grow from seed a season or so ago. Here's another one of our melon beds. So we have some runner beans here too. And then we have a mix of honeydew melon and cantaloupe. Now I know that's not recommended, but we'll just see what happens. And I believe this is marigolds. And I think we may have some lettuce that's sprouting here because I did do a row of lettuce there. In this bed, pop some marigold, some zinnias, and then we have some pepper plants. I have my fingers crossed about my pepper plants. I don't know if it's because it hasn't been as hot as it needs to be. I don't know what the case may be, but I'm hoping that because I've added some, getting consistent with the fertilization schedule, that it will help to boost the growth of my pepper plants. So these are the flowers that were grown on the inside and transplanted out. So these are just different varieties of sunflowers. Over here we have some okra. First time growing okra. So they seem to be looking okay. A little marigold there. And then we have our cucumbers. And so far they are looking good. Oh my goodness. I just now noticed this. I was out here earlier this morning and did not see that at all. Oh, my first little cucumber. That's exciting. This is an old pineapple plant. She has been holding it down. I don't think she's gone yet, but we're just going to keep her there. This is a plant that I grew from a pineapple top. All right, we have peppers here. Bell peppers. We have some zinnias, some cosmos, dahlias. These are two different dahlias. This is a dahlia here too, and this is a dahlia that was grown from a seedling. These dahlias, this one, and this one were grown from tubers. And I ordered these from Artemis. This one came out of, I believe, Walmart. And this is my other scarlet runner bean plant. And if you compare this, now this was grown on the inside, transplanted out. This one was directly sown, and you can see the difference in how the leaves are looking, but we will see, because this is how the leaves start out anyway, and then they turn into this. So, but these are still a healthier green look. So we will continue to compare, learning as we grow over here. This is my daughter's little garden area over there, and then that's just an old blackberry plant that we've had, that we've been growing for some time. And I think we have one or two. You can see the little blackberry, one or two that's on there. So yeah. And then these other long pieces that I didn't mention are pieces of garlic. And so what I did was I bought some organic garlic from Publix, whole garlic, and I just took off the little, are they cloves? The little pieces of those cloves, and I planted them in, and this is how they grew, and they are great for pests as well. So I have them all throughout my garden beds. Now, as you can see from the looks of them, they need to be harvested. And so what I did for some is that I've harvested them and I just replant them back into the garden. And so I'm gonna have to pull some of these. Like this one looks like it needs to be pulled for sure because of how it's looking. So let's see. It may not be anything. Well, nothing came up with that one. I don't know what happened there. Now how did a seashell end up in here? So don't know what happened with that one. Let's try this one. Maybe I pulled it wrong, maybe. Let's see. Okay, here we go. And this one may not be necessarily ready. It smells good though. And so what I'm going to do with this one, I think I need to leave them in there a little bit longer. This is another learning as I grow moment. But of course I can't put it back in the ground. But what I do is I will take it, and I'm doing this one-handed. But as you can see, that like this little piece here, I would take this off like this, and I would just replant it back in there, put that in there, and just cover it up. And so then I can continue to have consistent garlic. Now some people, you know, they like to cure and dry. I haven't got to that point yet. Right now I'm using it more so as pest control in my garden, because some pests do not like the scents. But long term, that would be something I want to consider. Now this one here, because I've planted some pieces throughout already, I believe earlier this week, so I may take this in the house and use this. But yeah, so that is the update of the garden check-in. This here was some extra, I don't know if you call this fence paneling or what, but one of my doggies, I came out here and he was walking along here, and so I had to put this makeshift barrier up. This is what it looks like for him. It's adjusting to keep him out. And at some point my goal is to work on this. I think I have a plan for it, because I will need to use shade, because I anticipate it getting very hot, because we're in the 80s, and I think earlier this week it was like 89 and it was hot. So I'm gonna have to start using shade cloth soon. But otherwise, that is my update. You know, over here I am learning as I grow. And as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And I will chat with you soon. Bye.